Hi everyone. Today we are going to study further. That is, what we are going to study is thoroughly prepare what you're going to say. Yes, we are speaking about introducing speakers, and as we are continuing the talk, here it is saying, for example, I heard a well known speaker, a man who ought to have known better, introduce the Irish poet W. B. Yeats. Yeats was to read his own poetry 3 years prior to that. He had been awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature, the highest distinction that can be bestowed upon a man of letters. I'm confident that not 10% of that particular audience knew of the award on its significance. Both ought, by all means, to have been mentioned. They ought to have been announced, even if nothing else were said. But what did the chairman do? He utterly ignored these facts and wandered off into talking about mythology and Greek poetry. Above all, be certain of the speaker's name and begin at once to familiarize yourself with its pronunciation. John Mason Brown says that he has been introduced as John Brown Mason. Okay, there's a change. Okay, and even John Smith Mason. So we see he has been introduced in different names. Yes, in his delightful essay, we have with us tonight Stephen Leacock, the distinguished Canadian humorist, tells of one introduction he received in which the introducer said, there are many of us who have awaited Mr. Leroy's coming in the most pleasant anticipations. We seemed from his books to know him already as an old friend. In fact, I do not think I exaggerate when I tell Mr. Leroy. Leroy, that is name in our city, has long been a household word. I have very great pleasure in introducing to you Mr. Leroy. The main purpose of your research is to be specific, is to be specific. For only by being specific will the introduction achieve its purpose to heighten the audience attention and to make it respective, receptive to the speaker's talk. The chairman who comes to a meeting poorly prepared usually comes up with something as vague and soporific as this. Our speaker is everywhere, recognized as an authority on his subject. We are interested in hearing what he has to say on this subject because because he comes because he comes from a great distance. It gives me great pleasure to present. Let's see now. Oh, here it is, Mr. Blank. By taking a little time to prepare, we can avoid the sad impression such as introduction makes upon both speaker and audience. Okay, so we are trying to understand introduction of speech. Now the second point is follow the TIS formula. Follow the TIS formula. For most introductions. The TIS formula serves as a handy guide in organizing the facts you have collected in your research. T stands for topic. Start your introduction by giving the exact title of the speaker's talk. Second point, I stands for importance. In this step, you bridge over the area between the topic and the particular interests of the group. And S stands for speaker. Here you list the speaker's outstanding qualification, particularly those that relate to his topic. Finally, you give his name distinctly and clearly. There is plenty of room in this formula for using your imagination. The introduction need not be cut and dried. Here is an example of an introduction that follows the formula without giving the effect of a formula at all. Without giving the effect of the formula at all. It was given by a New York City editor, Homer Thorne. Homer Thorne, yes. And when he introduced a New York editor, Homer Thorne, when he introduced a New York telephone company executive, George Wellbaum, to a group of newspaper men and women. Our speaker's topic is The Telephone Serves You. It seems to me that one of the world's biggest mysteries, that is, like love and horse players, persistence is the mystery of what happens when you make a telephone call. Why do you get a wrong number? Why can't you sometimes make a call from New York to Chicago quicker than from your old hometown to another town? Yes, just over the hill. Our speaker knows the answer and all the others to telephone questions. For 20 years, it has been his job to digest all sorts of details about the telephone business and to make this business clear to other people. He is a telephone company executive who has earned his title by work. Okay, friends, today we are going to study till here only and we'll continue tomorrow. Do not quit in life. Remember, we're going to be victorious and we're going to be an excellent public speaker. Yes, God bless you. See you soon. Bye bye.